What separates success from failure? Have you ever wondered why some people achieve success while others spend their lives stagnant? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's discipline. And no one explained it better than Jim Rohn. If you feel that you are stuck without leaving the place and want to transform your life for real, watch until the end. Because today we're going to explore Jim Rohn's most powerful lessons about discipline and success, and how you can apply them to change your reality this year. In this video you'll find out how Jim Rohn built his philosophy of life and what he taught millions of people about self-discipline. You will learn practical strategies to get out of procrastination, take control and create habits that really make a difference. And at the end I'll share a practical exercise for you to apply immediately. So stay with me. Before we start, if you want more videos about motivation and finances, sign up for the channel and activate the bell. Now let's get to the point. Who was Jim Rohn and why are his lessons so powerful? Now that you know that discipline is the deciding factor between success and failure, it's time to get to know the man behind this philosophy, Jim Rohn. Imagine a common young man without great opportunities, without inheritance, without influential connections. That young man was Jim Rohn. He grew up on a farm in the state of Idaho, USA. He did not come from a wealthy family and had no access to privileged education. At 25, you were deep in debt, frustrated and aimless. Maybe you felt like this at some point. But it all changed when Jim found a mentor, the businessman Earl Schoaf. This man taught Jim something that would change his life forever. Success is not an event, but the result of small disciplined actions repeated daily. With this mindset, Jim Rohn began to apply the principles of discipline, continuous learning and self-accountability. In just a few years he went from bankruptcy to millionaire. More than that, he became one of the most influential speakers in the world, inspiring names like Tony Robbins. Jim Rohn's story proves that success is not reserved for a few, but for those who decide to act and discipline themselves to grow. And now, let's dive into the teachings he left behind, and how you can use them to transform your life today. The principle of discipline. Small habits create big results. Now that we understand who Jim Rohn was and how he transformed his life, it's time to dive into one of his most powerful teachings. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and achievement. Jim Rohn said, "Success is nothing more than the daily application of discipline." This means that success doesn't come from big one-off actions, but rather from small choices made repeatedly over time. Think about it. An athlete doesn't become a champion by training one day and resting the rest of the year. They follow a plan, training every day even when they don't feel like it. Now apply this to your life. If you want financial freedom but spend more than you earn every month, how do you expect to accumulate wealth? If you want a healthy body but skip workouts and eat poorly, how will you get results? Discipline is what separates those who want from those who get it. Now think, what's one small action you can start today to change your life in the coming months? It could be saving 10% of your income, reading 10 pages a day, or waking up 30 minutes earlier. Don't underestimate the impact of small changes. In the next chapter, we'll explore why discipline is more important than motivation and how to make sure you stay on track. Discipline versus motivation. What really makes a difference? Many people believe that in order to take action they first need to be motivated. But Jim Rohn taught the opposite. Motivation may fail, but discipline always leads to success. How many times have you felt inspired after watching a motivational video, only to have everything go back to normal hours later? That's because motivation is fleeting. It's like fuel in a car. It gives you the energy to get started, but if you don't have a solid plan and discipline to follow through, you soon run out of steam to keep going. On the other hand, discipline is like the structure of a road. It keeps you on track even when the will to do so disappears. Think of an elite athlete. They train every day, rain or shine, whether they're motivated or not. The same goes for any successful professional. They don't wait to feel the urge to take action. They simply do what needs to be done. So instead of relying on motivation, create a system that makes discipline inevitable. Practical tips to ensure you take action even without motivation. Set fixed times for important tasks, e.g., reading for 15 minutes a day, exercising in the morning. Create visual reminders. Write down your goals and leave them somewhere visible. Find an accountability partner. Someone who holds you accountable. If you implement this, you will see real changes in your life. In the next chapter, we will talk about how to reprogram your mind to make discipline a natural and unbreakable habit. Reprogramming your mind, turning discipline into an automatic habit. Now that we know that discipline is the key to success, the next step is to turn it into an automatic habit. Jim Rohn always said that it is not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. Did you know that it takes, on average, 21 days to establish a habit? If you start doing something every day, even something as simple as writing down 3 goals, within a few weeks it will become a natural part of your routine. The key here is not to wait for big moments of motivation, but to focus on consistency. Success is built through repetition. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep at it. For example, let's say you set a goal to save a certain amount of money every month. At first, it might be hard to do. But once you make the decision to set aside that amount, even a small amount every month, you'll start to see the difference. Over time, saving will become as automatic as brushing your teeth. And as you see results, it will reinforce the habit and you'll do it more and more naturally. Try the following exercise. 1. Choose one simple daily action *** that you'd like to make a habit, like reading or planning your day. 2. Do this for 21 consecutive days ***. Even if you miss a day or two, pick it up the next day. Consistency is more important than perfection. 3. Notice the impact of small habits *** on your life, especially in the long term. Now, in the next chapter, we'll explore how you can use discipline to achieve your biggest goals, not just your day-to-day tasks. Discipline to achieve your biggest goals, how to achieve the unattainable. Now that we know how discipline can transform small daily actions, let's apply that power to achieving big, seemingly unattainable goals. Jim Rohn always emphasized that it's not just about working hard, but about working smart and disciplined. Many people give up on their dreams because they get overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they have to accomplish. However, the secret to achieving big goals is not focusing on the end goal, but breaking it down into small, actionable parts. Jim Rohn said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." For example, if your goal is to achieve financial independence, it may seem impossible at first. But by setting clear and consistent steps, such as saving 10% of your income each month, learning about investments and increasing your knowledge, you will be on the right track. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your bigger goal. What can you do now to start achieving your bigger goal? Don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. Practical exercise for applying discipline to bigger goals. 1. Choose a big goal, whether financial, personal, or professional. 2. Break it down into small monthly and daily milestones. 3. Establish a daily routine that moves you toward those milestones. 4. Celebrate each small success because each victory is a step toward the big goal. Now, in the next chapter, we will explore how to maintain your discipline when challenges arise and the temptation to give up seems greater. Overcoming challenges, how to maintain discipline when the stakeholders seem to be against you. Now that you know how discipline can turn your goals into reality, it's time to address one of the biggest obstacles for those seeking success: difficult times. Jim Rohn always said that, life will test your discipline, and it is these tests that determine your success. Challenges are inevitable. Have you ever had those moments when everything seems to be going down the drain? Difficulties arise, fatigue sets in, and suddenly you wonder if it's worth continuing. Jim Rohn taught us that challenges are part of the process, not signs that we're going in the wrong direction. The difference between people who achieve success and those who don't is how they deal with obstacles. If you can keep going when the odds seem to be stacked against you, you'll be stronger and closer to success. The cycle of perseverance. Imagine that you have set a financial goal, such as paying off a large debt. At first, you are enthusiastic, but soon unforeseen events arise. Unexpected expenses, temptations to consume. This is when many give up. But those who continue, even when difficulties arise, will create a solid foundation for the future. Discipline in the midst of adversity is what transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Intrinsic motivation. Find your why. In difficult times, it is essential to remember the reason why you started. When your why is strong enough, nothing can stop you from moving forward. Ask yourself, why is this important to me? If your reason is personal and meaningful, it will keep you on track even when difficulties arise. Tips for maintaining discipline in difficult times. 1. Redefine your goals if necessary but never give up on them. 2. Find small daily victories that keep your motivation high. 3. Seek support from people who share your vision. Sharing experiences and encouragement can be key. Now, let's explore how to harness discipline to create a winning mindset for the long term. Creating a winning mindset. How discipline shapes who you become. Now that we understand how to overcome challenges and maintain discipline even in difficult times, let's take it a step further. Jim Rohn taught us that discipline is not just a tool for achieving goals, it shapes who you become along the way. You are what you repeatedly do. Think about any successful person you admire. They didn't get where they are because of luck or innate talent. They got there because they developed habits and a mindset that made them take consistent action. Jim Rohn said, "Success is not something you pursue, but something you attract by the person you become." In other words, if you want success, wealth, health, or fulfillment, you need to become the person who acts according to those values every day. The power of a disciplined mindset. Imagine two people who start reading a book about personal finance. The first person reads just a few pages and then puts the book down. The second person decides to read 10 pages a day no matter what. Over the course of a month, the second person finishes the book and applies the knowledge he or she has learned. Within a year, he or she will have read several books and transformed his or her financial mindset. The first person, on the other hand, remains exactly where he or she is. Commitment. Who do you want to become? The most important question you can ask yourself is, am I acting like the person I want to be? Practical exercise to develop a disciplined mindset. 1. Write down what the ideal version of yourself would be like, how that person acts, thinks, and decides. 2. Analyze your daily actions and see if they are aligned with that vision. 3. Make daily adjustments to become that person, one habit at a time. Now, let's talk about how to maintain discipline over the years and ensure that your habits lead to a lasting transformation. How to make discipline a lifestyle and never go back. Now that you understand the impact of discipline on building a winning mindset, it's time to ensure that it becomes a permanent lifestyle. Jim Rohn always said that, true transformation happens when discipline stops being an effort and becomes part of who you are. Discipline is part of you. If you see yourself as someone who is disciplined, your actions will naturally follow that pattern. On the other hand, if you still see yourself as someone who struggles with procrastination, you will always feel like you are forcing something that is not natural. So, stop saying I am undisciplined and start affirming, I am a disciplined person. I keep my word. I do what needs to be done regardless of the circumstances. Small habits, big transformations. Think of someone who wants a prosperous financial life. If this person creates the habit of saving and investing regularly, no matter how small the amount, over the years he or she will automatically accumulate wealth. Discipline stops being a sacrifice and becomes part of the routine. The same happens with health, knowledge, and any other area of life. The 5-year rule. Ask yourself, if I continue living exactly the way I am today, where will I be in 5 years? If the answer is not satisfactory, it is time to adjust your habits now. 5 years will pass anyway. The choice you have is where you want to be at the end of that time. Tips for making discipline a lifestyle. 1. Associate habits with daily triggers, for example, exercising right after waking up. 2. Eliminate distractions and temptations that keep you from your goals. 3. Surround yourself with disciplined people. Your environment shapes your behaviors. 4. Record your progress. Tracking your progress reinforces your discipline. Now, let's talk about how to inspire others to follow this path and multiply the results of discipline in your life. How to inspire others with your discipline. Now that you've learned how to make discipline a lifestyle, there's a next level that can multiply your results. Inspiring others to follow the same path. Jim Rohn always said that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. But what if, instead of just being influenced by your environment, you became a positive influence for others? Leadership. Be the example others want to follow. People don't change because someone tells them to. They change when they see someone living an inspiring life. When your discipline produces results, others start asking how you did it, and that's when you have the opportunity to impact lives. Think about someone who decides to transform their financial life and, over time, builds a solid net worth. Their friends and family who previously didn't care about this subject, start asking, what did you do to get there? The same happens with any positive change, health, knowledge, career. Your discipline becomes a beacon for those who want to evolve. The multiplier effect of discipline. If you inspire just 3 people to change their habits and each of them inspires 3 others, in a short time this cycle impacts dozens or hundreds of people. Contribution. Helping others strengthens your commitment. When you teach someone, your own conviction is strengthened. By sharing what you learned, you reinforce your discipline because now you know that other people also count on you as an example. How to inspire others. 1. Walk your talk. The best way to teach is by example. 2. Share your journey, share your challenges and achievements to motivate others. 3. Be willing to help. Small pieces of advice can change someone's life. Now, in the final chapter, we'll talk about how to take this learning forward and ensure your journey never stops. The journey continues, the next step to an extraordinary life. We've reached the end of this journey, but as Jim Rohn said, learning and growth never end. Now that you understand the power of discipline, what's next? Public commitment. Turn knowledge into action. Many people absorb knowledge, but few actually apply it. What sets successful people apart is the ability to turn ideas into concrete actions. If you've made it this far, you've already taken a step ahead of most. But for this change to be real, you need to commit to yourself. Small daily challenges to keep you growing. How about setting a personal challenge for the next 30 days? It could be waking up earlier, saving a percentage of your income, reading every day, or any other habit that strengthens your discipline. Small challenges generate big changes over time. Urgency. Start now, not later. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for the right time to act. But the right time never comes. The only way to change your life is to start now. So here's a challenge for you. 1. Choose a habit you want to improve and set a 30-day commitment. 2. Write this commitment down somewhere visible. 3. Share this goal with someone to increase your accountability. Now that you've learned all this, it's time to take the next step. If you want to continue evolving, learning, and getting motivated every day, subscribe to the channel right now. Here you will always find content that will transform your mindset and bring you closer to success. Turn on notifications, like the video, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. The journey continues and we are in this together. Let's move forward towards an extraordinary life.